Some filmmakers get their inspiration from a childhood memory or perhaps a work of literature. Daniel Lesko says the idea for the new movie Persecuted came from a dream. We caught up with him at the Faith-Based Media Summit in Beverly Hills and asked him what he hopes audiences will take away from this movie.
There are those who claim that your ministry is intolerant and may even threaten the freedom of others.
Freedom is fragile and costly and must be defended by work and by faith.
James Remar portrays popular evangelist John Luther, who's targeted by powerful Washington interests for his refusal to support their legislation. Despite Persecuted's rip from the headlines feel, Lesko insists there's no agenda beyond his desire to preserve freedom of conscience.
I hope people walk out of the movie Persecuted asking themselves the question, what would I do if I faced losing everything for standing up for what I believe?
Lesko wrote, produced, and directed the film. He hopes will go beyond the stereotypical Christian movie.
I have a dream to unite the traditions of faith with one voice.
It's amazing to see how the timeliness of these values and what this man stands for to be taken in such a broad way, but it's also exciting just for general people who love a good classic political thriller.
Others involved in the film have similar views.
I need your help.
Your husband is a fugitive.
Actor and comedian Brad Stein plays Luther's right-hand man.
It has faith elements, but if you went there without any sense of a faith perspective, you'll be entranced by the action, by the drama.
The film tackles issues surrounding censorship and government intrusion.
That means a lot to me as a comic who lifts up God and country and tears down political correctness. That's been my career.
You know what I love about you people? You are what we were. You go to church, you don't apologize for it.
Dubbed God's comic by New York Magazine, Stein has never shied away from the beliefs he believes Hollywood often targets.
We do have, in fact, bigotry in Hollywood towards people of faith or people of conservative bent. Then there is sometimes an actual real-life persecution.
Without the success of other high-profile faith-based films, Persecuted probably wouldn't have gotten this far.
The market of movies that deal with faith subjects is kind of reevaluating what is faith-based.
Lesko says in the 6 years since he started developing Persecuted, the attitudes of distributors changed and became more open to a smaller film with moral themes and grittier subject matter.
Persecuted opened in theaters this weekend. The movie's rated PG-13. In light of the recent announcement that The Expendables 4 would be PG-13, many writers and bloggers are saying the rating has become pointless and it's a decision made by studios just to make money. This isn't the first time movie studios have raised a few eyebrows because of that PG-13 rating. Certainly won't be the last. But how much do we know about the MPAA and its rating system? Deseret News writer Herb Scribner is here after looking into all that. I know you have a movie quiz, but let me ask you first off, is the PG-13 rating going to go away?
I don't think it's going to go away. I think it's a good option for parents who don't want to take their kids to the R movie, but feel comfortable enough to still take them to a more graphic, violent kind of movie. That said, there has been a lot of debate about what a PG-13 label is, how much violence can really be in that, how much cursing can be in that, and that's what a lot of writers have been calling into question, what it means and what it should mean for the future.
In many instances, today's PG-13 are the R-rated movies that we would have seen growing up if we were to go see them.
Right.
And so I'm not even quite sure what's in the R-rated movie, but a PG-13 does not guarantee a parent that this is a good choice. You've got to look at things.
Right, yeah, that's the thing that's really different is that a lot of these movies could be our movies, but a lot of the times they're knocked down to the PG-13 movie. Even a movie like The Avengers, great family movie that people took their families to at least,
sure.
Was one scene away from being an R-rated movie. And so that just shows you that these movies we go to and we frequent could actually be R, even if they're just PG-13.
Okay, so you've come with a quiz for me and our audience this morning.
I have.
How much do we know about this whole movie rating system?
Yes, I've come to you with this quiz. I did get some help from my coworkers, Kurt Hansen and Brittany Banowski, with putting it together.
I've not seen the answers, nor have our viewers.
All right, well, do you want to get into it?
Let's do it.
You want to get into it? All right, well, here's the first one. Take this. What movie prompted the MPAA to create the PG-13 movie?
I'm going to guess it was Red Dawn.
Ah, so close, but it was actually Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Really? Yeah, and I didn't like that one either.
Yeah.
The others were much better. Okay. All right, I'm 0 for 1.
Yeah,
What's next?
Next one, what was the first movie that was released with a PG-13 movie?
First movie released as a PG-13 movie. Well, I'm going to say Indiana Jones.
Oh, you
just set me up. What happened?
You should have flipped them.
Because went with Red Dawn.
It was Red Dawn, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, what's next?
All right, so how many uses of the F word are allowed in a PG-13 movie?
I thought it was 1.
That's a common conception, but it's also a misconception.
Okay.
It actually usually is 1, but it depends according to the MPAA.
It could be a whole bunch.
It could be a whole bunch, 3 sometimes, but mostly just 1.
Okay, all right. I lost that one too. What's next?
What kind of violence is not allowed in a PG-13 movie?
Gosh, it seems like so much is in there. I'm going to go with extreme.
Yeah, to an extent. I would say that to an extent. But mostly it's persistent or realistic violence.
0 for 4.
So
what kind of quiz is this?
It's more like a test, I guess.
Okay, all right, what's next?
Which of these movies had its lowest, or had its rating lowered from R to PG-13? Bully, Philomena, or The Other Woman?
Oh, I don't know. I'll go with all the above.
That is exactly the answer. It's all of them. Trick question, you got it. In the United Kingdom, how old must one be to watch the equivalent of an R-rated movie in the United States?
In the United Kingdom, it seems like they're a little looser with things than in the United States, so I'm going to say 15.
That is exactly correct. There is a restricted thing, R18, which is restricted. Anyone younger than 18 can't see it, but those are more, yeah.
All right, I'm done with this quiz. I got one right. I'm going to end on a hot streak.
That's
we don't know
idea.
a lot about it. The important thing is we pay attention to the movies we go see so that we're not shocked while we're sitting there with our kids.
Exactly. You got to pay attention to what you're seeing. Look it up. There's on Deseret News, we have a list of different ways families can look into movies to look beforehand. So
thanks, Herb.
Hey, anytime. Man.
You can read more about the possible changes to the rating system and take the entire quiz that Herb has put together at DeseretNews.com. Next, a visit to the world's largest seminary, what the school's president says it takes to be a good preacher, when the Deseret News National Edition continues.